Not delete. Definitely not freaking delete this one. Okay. So basically what I was saying is, I'll just go over the whole thing over again. It's whatever. I don't even give a shit. I just got a huge glitch right when I went into explaining everything they could have done to prevent me from this rampage. There, this is much smoother. Bristleback goes in, gets arrowed after a Sven hammer, dies. It's a 4v5. So right here, Marana gets ice pathed, and then I just blink strike her and murder her, whatever. Moving on. The really critical part here is where Witch Doctor blinks in and where Apparition uses his Ice Blast. So Sven murders the Lena, I murder the Sven, and as I'm murdering the Sven, the Witch Doctor blinks in and the Apparition uses Ice Blast basically at the same time. Yeah, right here. So I'm about to get Ice Blasted. I'm sitting on Sven at the moment. Witch Doctor blinks in. Now there's a couple things that could have happened here. First off, you either A, could have saved the Ice Blast and just let Witch Doctor Death Ward me to death, because that would have killed me without Apparition's Ice Blast, and you could have saved the Ice Blast for Aegis of the Immortal afterward, like after I get up from dying with it. Or, the better option really is Ice Blast me, Witch Doctor blinks in, uses Paralyzing Cask between me and Jakiro, and that is really what stops me from killing the Sven. Or if I still do kill the Sven, at least you have me locked down, and I now have an Ice Blast on me, and you can just maledict me, and like if you really need to, you just use your shard, your voodoo shard, and use the mini death ward that way, instead of wasting your whole death ward on basically just me, essentially, before the Aegis, which is a little absurd. And I mean, I see, like, the goal is to save the Sven, but at this point in the game, like here, let's just roll back like a few seconds for a second. I'll show you what I mean. Arrow permanence. Hits the Jakiro. Lena ulties. Sven stuns. Basically murders my Lena. Macro Pyre down. I dagger the Ogre. I blink on the Sven. Ice Blast. And then, see right there. Right there. Right there. See there? Witch Doctor blinks in right when the Sven is at about 50% health. If he has enough time to Death Ward, he should be able to Paralyzing Cask. Like, really, you should be able to do that. If you can jump in and get a few Death Ward hits off on me while your Sven's being beaten to death, you should at least be able to Paralyzing Cask. That is plenty enough distance to knock it between. In fact, it's perfectly the right distance between me and Jakiro to just bounce that back and forth for just enough time to stun us both for the longest duration, I'm pretty sure. Stun duration is 0.5. That's almost a second duration, and we're like right at the distance where it just bounces back and forth at the perfect ratio. Or the perfect rhythm, I should say. Perfect timing. And then Apparition Ice Blast me right there. I mean, just right after, while Paralyzing Cask is going off, you just Maledict and then Voodoo Switcheroo. Ogre can even Fire Blast me on 1 second cooldown. Maybe the Sven survives or at least dishes out some damage, but instead they just use everything on me all at once. They Ice Blast me, they Death Ward me, and Sven dies because no one's stunned. And then what's even worse, not only because this is really nitpicky, but what's even worse is what comes after the Aegis is up. Because after the Aegis is up, Sven is down, but the Ogre runs off and tries to kill the Jakiro, and then the Apparition goes and tries to kill the Jakiro also, and like wastes a couple of Chilling Touch, right? Yeah, Chilling Touch shots on the Jakiro that don't even hit him because the Ogre with like 300 damage just like knocks like 600 damage into the Jakiro, and it's just like, okay, you didn't really need to. Neither one of you needed to chase him. What you needed to be doing was focus on the guy with the Aegis. That is a literally main position 1 Phantom Assassin with like, I mean, Deso, Sans, and Yasha in a Blads with Boots of Bearing, by the way, which is really helpful. But it's on cooldown, so it doesn't even matter. But it's still whatever. Moving on. So they use Death Ward, they use Ice Blast, so they have neither one of those for when I come up from the Aegis. I'm dishing out a lot of damage to this Witch Doctor already. Sven dies. Ogre fucks off for a second. Doesn't know what to do. He has Ignite, or sorry, not Ignite. Fire Blast off cooldown. What he should be doing is just standing right there. He should be standing right here, waiting for me. But instead he's like, I'm gonna go chase the Jakiro. Witch Doctor no longer has Death Ward. All he has is Voodoo Switcheroo, which he smartly uses as soon as I'm up. But then Apparition and Ogre are just on this Jakiro for the kill. And I just zip around the tree and like juke his little mini Death Ward. Ice Blast comes in. I mean, not Ice Blast. Chilling Touch shots come in. And Ogre's still fucking off over there while I'm like destroying his Apparition a little bit. He bloodlusts the Apparition, which was smart, but he no longer has Fire Blast and ignites on cooldown as well. I kill the Apparition. This is their main source of damage now that Death Ward is gone. I just hammer the Ogre a little bit, and what else is Witch Doctor gonna do besides trying to help the Ogre? And, you know, I don't know. He blinks in, which he might not have wanted to blink in, but at this point I don't really know if that would have made much of a difference whether he did that or not, because if he comes in range, I'm just gonna blink strike him anyway. I kill him after he's running away, and then Ogre just decides to man fight me because there's literally nothing else to do, and, well, yeah, Rampage. Boom. So, that's that story. Basically, the crux of what I'm getting at is that they shouldn't have really wasted Death Ward. The Witch Doctor should have used Paralyzing Cask, and it would have bounced between me and Jakiro, and at least gotten the Aegis down, and maybe saved the Sven, which could have helped for after the Aegis was up. But I don't know why the Ogre and the Apparition decided to go for the Jakiro. That was a mistake too. After the Aegis was up, they should have just focused on me right off the bat. Use Fire Blasts and all the Chilling Touch shots on me, not the Jakiro. They should have just let the Jakiro walk. Worst case scenario, he jumps in, and then Apparition just nails him a few times, or Ogre hits him once or twice, and he's dead. He was at like 500 HP, so it's a little silly. This is an example of like Herald gameplay where people just chase after kills as opposed to like playing smart objectively, where you want to take out the main priority, or you know, when people say objectives, they generally mean buildings, but objective can also mean like, you know, taking out the position 1 or the position 2 before somebody else, or not focusing the tank, or not chasing after kills. Those are all like anti-objectives on some level, you know. Just going for a butterfly there. That's it. That's it, y'all. That's my breakdown of the Rampage.